Toronto Pearson. And we'll be flying out to Sault Ste. Marie, town in Ontario here. They're running an event on Vatsim, so might as well take advantage of the available ATC coverage. So let's get a few things powered up here. Start lighting up the aircraft a bit. Cabin utilities, seats, add a rear window heat. Let's get a bit of lights on here. A bit of lights outside. Open up the air, the fans. Fantastic. So we'll leave that for now. Let's get a bit of lights up here. Oops. A little bit of lights on the pedestal. Fantastic. You can go ahead and say hello to the purser.
Good day. Hope you are all doing well today.
Get
Nice
some
to hear
lights
you,
on
sir.
in the cabin.
This is the chief purser.
This is the captain. How do you hear?
We are all here and ready.
Okey-dokey. Back. Excellent. So, some preliminary checks done. Let's get our radios on. We already took the ATIS here in Toronto. Information X-ray. Winds 270 at 10, gusting 15. Temperature 02, altimeter 2981. So everything's looking just great so far. We have our flight plan set up. We'll be cruising at an altitude of 34,000 feet. And here's our route over here. We'll see if ATC gives us a different departure. We got 320 passengers on board. 17.5 thousand kilograms of fuel. And we'll be taking off with a weight of 217.4 thousand kilograms. Looking at Navigraph charts, kind of have an idea of the route we'll be flying from Toronto to Sault Ste. Marie. So we'll see what runways are available and what ATC gives us. So with that being said, we'll go ahead here and get our aircraft loaded up.
Sir, they brought a new load sheet.
Put the load sheet up. Okie dokie. So, I'll have a quick look at the ATIS again just to make sure I can write down the runway information. Okay, so approach ILS runway 24 left, secondary IFR approach RNAV Yankee runway 23. Simultaneous parallel approaches in effect. Departure runway 23. So I'll write that down. Runway 23. And should no times reducing small bird activity. Okie dokie. So aircraft is loaded. The information from SimBrief. Start getting the box set up here. Start with the GPS position. Airport origin. We have Toronto Pearson. And the arrival Sault Ste. Marie. We'll be flying Air Canada 11 today. And we'll be expecting runway 23 on the departure. Which departure? We don't know. So, let's tune into delivery. They're on 121.3. So, you don't see the standby moving for some reason on the Logitech radio panels. but it definitely is scrolling on my side. It only seems to pop up after I press. There we go. Toronto delivery. Let's do a mic check. Pearson delivery, Air Canada 11 Heavy with you, doing a mic check.
Air Canada 11 Heavy, Toronto clearance, good evening. I'll do you a readability 5.
Fantastic. Air Canada 11 Heavy, we're here with you. Gate 139. We're filed to Sault Ste. Marie looking for departure clearance.
Canada 11, gate 135.
139.
Okay, Canada 11, I found you. Just double check your mic. You appear to be cutting out, but you're cleared to Sault Ste. Marie via the Sault for departure. CASA transition, flight plan route. Depart runway 2, tree squawk 0560.
Roger, standby for readback, Air Canada.
Right.
I think he said Sault 4. Air Canada 11 Heavy delivery. Did you say CASA transition?
Air Canada 11 Heavy, affirm, that's what you filed.
Roger. Excellent. So, yeah, we are cleared to Sault Ste. Marie via the Sault 4 departure, CASA transition. We'll be expecting runway 23, squawk code 0560.
Air Canada 11 Heavy, read back correct, except the airport is called Sault Ste. Marie. I know it doesn't look like it, but that's how you pronounce it. This is X-ray and call back for push.
Fantastic. Good to know. I'm from Quebec, so that is a French word that would be pronounced so, but I guess it's Sue. Thanks for the correction.
Yeah, I don't know. You have to ask them.
Okay. Okie dokie. So a little lesson here in pronunciations. So
Delivery, Air
or
Canada
Sao.
519 again here, ready to refile IFR to Halifax with information X-ray.
Okay, so we got our clearance.
Air Canada
Put that in the
519, the
box.
flight plan looks the same.
And then now we'll have a look at the route.
Yeah, you sure you didn't get an error when you refiled?
Refee.
I'll try that again.
So
Sorry
from
about
Queso,
that.
we'll direct
519,
refee.
stand by. Canada 519, sometimes it doesn't let you refile after someone's modified your flight plan, so you might need to try disconnect, reconnect.
Then there's an airway
Roger that.
V45.
We'll stand by.
Greener 74 is ready for push and start.
From there, we're going to hit him.
Contact apron
Hit cam.
12227, good night.
12227, Greener 74, thanks, have a good night.
Good night.
And from there, we are direct Sault Ste. Marie. Most likely get vector instructions. They don't have an arrival over there. So we'll expect runway 30. Let me have a look at what they're saying on their ATIS right now.
Air Canada 865 Heavy, ready for pushback at gate 178.
Holy cow, this kid probably couldn't even get a driver's
Yeah,
license.
865
He's behind
Heavy,
sitting in the airliner.
did you disconnect and reconnect?
Okay, so they don't have an ATIS up. So we'll assume the filed runway, which is runway 30.
Pilot lied because my computer was lagging.
Okay,
I guess we'll just queue up the RNAV
Contact apron 12227, good night.
from Ottoman or whatever. We'll just put that in the box for now. Have a look at the legs page.
Toronto
First of all,
delivery, Air Canada 519, hoping third time's a charm. IFR to Halifax as filed with X-ray.
Let's get rid of that. Looks good. Boom.
Air Canada
Ottoman.
519,
This is gonna be,
time is the charm.
final.
Cleared to Halifax via the
So we're looking good here. We'll leave that empty space in case ATC has us go to a custom waypoint. So from
Cleared to
here,
Halifax as filed with dead keep 5
look at the
departure 11
performance.
transition. Flight plan route squawk
Take off rate for
runway 23 squawk
77.9.
0466 for Air Canada 519.
actual
Air Canada
takeoff.
519 read back
Wait.
correct ATIS X-ray call back for push.
Our filed
Call back for push.
reserves
Thanks for your patience, Air Canada 519.
8.4. just round that
Dawn
up.
delivery, Air Canada 600 at PDC 430 Foxtrot.
Say we're clear
Ready
to
for
file
pushback,
off
gate 120.
340.
Air Canada 600.
We'll be flying the crossing decks
Congratulations
at
on being the
25.
second person today that read back their PDC correctly on the first try. The ATIS is X-ray. Contact
I
April
hope you met me.
1227. Good day.
Contact April 22275, Air Canada 2.
Okay. So let's have a look at the performance here for the takeoff. We're set up for runway 23. Based on the runway length and the weather, it's a very long runway. We can run derate the takeoff to 1. Cell temperature for this configuration is 52 degrees. Takeoff flaps 5. Our center of gravity is here on the load sheet. Just round to the nearest whole unit. 30. Then before getting the speeds, we put the weather. Last time I checked the ATIS, it's 270 at 10, gusting 50. Temperature 02. Still current. From here, we look like we're all set. Fantastic. So if I run the legs page over here, run the performance over here, get our APU started. Put the strobe light on. Let's make contact with ground. Set up our squawk code. Set squawk 0560.
Pearson departure, good evening, November 2 flight call.
Good day.
Hello, sir.
The Sky Service South Rim at Toronto, requesting IFR to Reagan, and we have X-ray.
Okie dokie, squawk mode, Charlie.
Number 2, Mike Golf, Toronto clearance. Good evening. I appreciate your attempt at a promotion, but unfortunately I'm not departures on multiple clearance. You're cleared to Ronald Reagan via the Rigas 5 departure flight plan route. Depart runway 23, squawk 1617.
Copy that, clear the Rigas 5 departure, and we'll expect runway
Alright,
23.
so we have everything configured in the box.
For 2 Mike Golf.
Let's check the
Number 2,
health
Mike
of our
Golf, readback
APU.
correct. ATIS is X-ray, call back for startup.
Copy that, 2 Mike
Looks
Golf.
good, so we'll bring the APU on, and then we'll ask our purser to go ahead and get the doors closed, and we'll ask ground get out the way, close the hatches so we can get ready for push and start here. So let's get all
I
these
would
doors
like all
closed.
doors to be closed now.
Also, number 2, Mike Golf, I'm not sure if you meant to be a Sky Service, but you're at the fire station. The planes aren't supposed to be there.
Fantastic. So
Okay, well this is
we have the doors closed. Set
where
that
I
on,
stopped when I landed a little while ago.
Doors to automatic.
But
get the
All
okay,
doors
windows,
are
open
armed.
we'll
signs
just
on.
make sure not to park here next time.
Don't worry, I'll blame
Fantastic.
ground.
Last ground right now to disconnect the services and to bring the stairs away. So we can do that from here. Using equipment.
Go ahead and disconnect.
We're all good here because
ground
we did
equipment.
activate the APU.
Roger.
Oops. Emergency lights on. Forgot about that. Alright, and ask him to go ahead and close all the hatches and doors.
Please make sure all hatches are closed and all personnel clear.
You are cleared to pressurize the hydraulics, sir.
Okie dokie. So,
Toronto delivery, this is Delta 375 Heavy with
so let's have a look here. Flight
you,
controls
gate
are
179,
working.
requesting clearance to
The
Cleveland.
noise ventilator, and that's working. And throttles. Tops.
Delta 375 Heavy, Toronto clearance. Okay.
Alright,
You're cleared
so
to Cleveland via the Beats 3
let's have
departure.
a quick look here at
transition.
the
Then flight
departure.
plan route. Depart runway 23, squawk 2476.
So, Runway 23, unless
Clear
otherwise
to
assigned by
Cleveland,
TC.
Betsy
Climb heading
3,
237
Erie
to
transitions,
1100,
squawk
climb heading
2476, climb by plan route, and we'll expect runway 23, we're ready to push
or
and
as
start.
assigned.
Await your delivery, sorry.
Route, maintain 5,000.
Delta 375, no, I am the correct person to tell that you're ready, so that you can contact Apron on 12227, could I?
1227, I'm a real pilot, I should have known that, sorry.
We're cleared basically
No, you're good.
5,000 on the departure.
Tower November, Mike Alpha 21, with you at stand 1227, requesting view. I'm sorry, requesting IFR clearance to Boston International, we have information extra on board.
Remember, Mike
Flight
Alpha
level
21, you're
10,000,
the cargo, but don't worry, I see you. You're cleared to Boston Logan via the Captain 3 departure, Bomba transition, flight plan route.
So just make sure what we have in the box makes sense.
1767.
Climbing on heading 237.
Squawk 1767, clear for Captain
Turn
3
on to the vector, right turn vectors. And then we'll see what ATC decides to do with us.
Remember, Mike Alpha 21,
So,
you need to reach
let's set that takeoff altitude. I just like having that set. In
My
case
bad.
something goes wrong,
Captain
can
Free
just activate
transition.
heading mode
Captain Free
by
departure
straight
via
line.
Buntican. Fuck, sorry, I'm
Good stuff.
It's a bad day today. Sorry. November Mike Alpha 21 cleared for the Captain Free
So
departure.
we're looking good here.
J-
We're going to call him back and say that we're cleared. We're ready for a push and start.
I have a bump transition. Squawk step 176.
Remember, Mike Alpha 21, don't worry, everyone has one of those days. Your feedback is correct. Just be careful. I won't get you in trouble, but if you swap frequencies, someone else might get you in trouble. This is X-ray, and call me back
Knock
for
out the cockpit.
startup.
Getting a call here from the Pearson.
What would you like?
Sir, we are ready back here. The briefing has been completed and all is secured.
Remember, Mike Alpha 21, you copy?
Perfect. Okay, so let's talk to ATC. Let's have a look here at the pushback to expect. Don't need this chart anymore.
November, Mike Alpha 21, Toronto
Be
clearance.
expecting a pushback to the right.
November Mike Alpha 21, ready to copy.
Remember, Mike Alpha 21, I was asking if you copied what I said earlier.
Oh, yeah, no, sorry, got it. November Mike Alpha 21.
Right.
Toronto clearance,
And
sir,
the
Canada 519, ready for push.
was 2981.
Canada 59, thanks. Contact Apron 12227, good night.
Board Apron 2227, thanks for ETC Air Canada 519.
Appreciate the traffic, have a good night.
Delivery Air Canada 11 Heavy with you back at gate 139. We're ready for a push and start.
Air Canada 111, you don't sound so sure about that, but when you're ready, call Apron 12227, good night.
Roger, thank you.
Air Canada 111, sorry, just you have to read back the frequency change, so it's at 12227.
122.27 for push and start the ramp. Thank you so much.
Tower Mike Alpha 21, ready for push and start.
Remember, Mike Alpha 21, do you need pushback, or are you just going to start up there?
I can start from here.
Okay, November, Mike Alpha 21, contact Apron 12227, good night.
27.
Zach 1. Pass. Boss push approved, lane 8 tail to the south. Once the traffic passes, we'll push back, lane 8 tail to the south, Air Canada 519. Air Canada 600, contact northbound 121.650. Northbound 2165, Air Canada 600.
Air Canada 11 Heavy with you from gate 139, ready for a push and start. CU's probably looking for us.
Air Canada 11, push approved lane 6, tail to the east, advised ready for taxi.
Push lane 6, tail east, advised ready to taxi for Canada 11 Heavy. So let's see, sometimes it doesn't quite match up. They're calling stuff out that might be different scenery from Xplane to Flight Simulator, but he said 6, so that's this line right here,
Good morning, November Mike Alpha 21, ready for taxi.
which is probably this right here. That would make sense. Or wait a second. Okay. So
November Mike Alpha 21
push back
taxi through the
6.
apron, hold short Alpha Delta and
Tail
contact
towards
northbound 121.65.
so if you look here, northeast is here, so tail east. Push back on 6.
Taxi
Tail
Alpha Delta and contact ground at 121.65.
So we're just going
It's
to
going
do
to
a
be
push
hold
back
short Alpha
to the
Delta and
left,
contact
actually.
ground 12165.
Okay, let's get it.
Correction, hold short Alpha Delta and contact ground at 121.65.
Guys, we are ready for the pushback.
You are free to set the brakes now.
Brakes are set.
Alright. We gotta drive the tug. Let's get her set up here.
You are clear to release.
Toronto Apron, Air Canada 519, lane 8.
Release the brakes.
Air Canada 519,
Pushing back.
taxi down lane 8, hold short Alpha Lima. Taxi lane 8, hold short Alpha Lima, Air Canada 519.
Alright, so we're back to do the pushback here. Let's engage a lot of torque on the tug just to get her moving here. And let's begin to push her back. Push back onto 6. Looking good. Why did this sound so quiet? Okay, let's get her pushed back a bit further so we can...
And ground Delta 375 Heavy is ready to taxi. Delta 375, taxi apron, lane 9, 8 short Delta Quebec. Lane 9, apron edge, and then short Delta Quebec.
It's a decent job here. Alright, that'll do.
Air Canada 519,
Set
everyone
parking
except for
brake,
South Tower is
please.
logging off, so it's going to be
Parking brake
118.35.
Parking brake is set.
118.35, Air Canada 519, thanks.
Thank you. See you at the hand
Air
signals.
Canada 11, I'm hopping off now, 118.35.
Let's just get this tug out of the way.
Delta 375, I'm hopping
Fantastic.
off, 118.35.
One thing that I'm not a fan about when
Thanks.
driving the tug
please.
yourself is like, I'm like, I couldn't start the engines.
Air Canada 11, contact 118.35.
118.35. 118.35 for Canada 11 Heavy, thank you.
And all
118.
remaining aircraft on frequency Toronto Apron's now closed, thank you for the traffic. It's going to be Toronto Tower.
Okay.
Ready for taxi and tower. Is it possible we're on this side of the airport, possibly?
Bring up and allow fuel to hit the engines. Let's watch the engine performance as
I'll work with the departure controllers.
Let's find that right engine.
Alright, I appreciate it. If it's too much trouble, don't worry about it. We have no issue, but you could...
So let's
We are
end
done
that
with the
process
pushback.
pushback, yeah.
I'll see if I can shorten that taxi for you, but...
Please.
All equipment
Alright,
removed.
good
Here
evening,
is
Air
the
Canada
pin.
519, holding short,
Thank
Alpha
you
Lima,
very
ready for taxi.
Have a safe trip.
Air Canada 519,
There's the
target
pin.
using runway 23, altimeter 281, taxi via Alpha Hotel.
Let's wave this guy off.
Taxi to 23 via Alpha Hotel, Air Canada 519, thanks.
Tower, good evening, Delta 375 Heavy, on short of Delta Quebec, ready to taxi. C23.
Let's bring
You're talking about Charlie 2476.
fuel pumps on.
Affirmative. Yep. I just recycled it now.
Second engines. Get some temperature going in the cabin. It's a bit chilly here. Toronto. Get those hydraulics going. Make sure our nose wheel tiller is working. Perfect. So
Tower
we got
Delta
takeoff
375,
trim 4.25.
Delta 375, having now Roger, stand by.
Okie dokie. That should do. And take off lap 75. Very good. So let's bring out the lights. Fantastic. So it's called I think we gotta go to him. 121 Air Canada 11 Heavy tower with you. Just push back lane 6, tail east. I was told by the ground guy to contact you.
Okay, 11 Heavy, Tower, Roger, standby. Delta 375, you're still ready for taxi? Affirmative. Delta 375, taxi runway 23, altimeter is 208.1, current 8 is X-ray. Taxi via Delta Alpha Hotel.
Okie dokie.
2981, Delta Alpha
So
Hotel,
we're just gonna
23,
wait
Delta
for him
375
here
Heavy.
to give us taxi instructions. Most likely gonna have us taxi here, probably Alpha or Bravo Hotel. Let's see how that works out. Air Canada, stand by. So yeah, in the meantime, bring our auto throttles arms on. Get a bit more lights on here.
Air Canada 11 Heavy, John Tower, confirming you're ready for taxi.
Roger, we are ready for taxi.
Air Canada 11, Roger, runway 23, altimeter 208.18 is X-ray, taxi via Alpha Hotel.
Runway 23, taxi Alpha Hotel, Air Canada 11 Heavy. Perfect. So Alpha is just out of the apron here, right turn,
Ready for taxi.
spool up the engines.
Air Canada 11 Heavy, when you can, squawk 6124.
Whoops, they're asking us to change the squawk. Changing squawk code to 6124, Air Canada 11 Heavy. Alright.
Remember 2 Mike Golf Tower.
Oh shoot, I just realized
I got approval for that departure off of 24 left. I can re-clear you in a moment there. It'll just be a minute for taxi because I got an arrival coming in.
No problem at all,
Oh,
sir.
no.
We greatly appreciate it.
Forgot to
We'll
send
stand
gas
by.
to my
No problem at all.
fuel. Sorry for the terminology. Let's get the squawk
Toronto
code
Tower,
under
Canada
control.
2976 off hour. Canada 2976, 137 at 10, gusting 15, clear to land runway 24 left.
24.
Clear to land 24 left, Canada 2976. November 2 Mike Golf Tower, you were re-cleared to Washington via runway 24 left, balance unchanged.
Copy that. Route file for 24 left. Everything else is unchanged for 2 Mike Golf.
Okay, so we somebody's in the start. We powered up our engines and
November 2 Mike Golf contact.
we waited too long before
Yes,
sending
go
the
ahead for
fuel
2 Mike
in.
Golf.
November 2 Mike Golf runway 24 left, altimeter 298.18 is X-ray, taxi via Yankee Whiskey, hold short, runway 24 left. You can expect a backtrack full length.
Taxi, Yankee, Whiskey, backtracking when advised for 2 Mike Golf.
Okay, so I'll just confirm hold short, runway 24 left.
Yes,
Not
sir. We're going to hold
good.
short of runway 24 left.
Again, that's 2976. You can see an aircraft taxiing into
There we go.
position there, and they'll be holding short of 24 left, should be no factor.
everything else looks pretty good. Do a PA welcoming passengers.
Ladies and gentlemen, I, the captain, would like to welcome you on board this Fright Factor aircraft. My first officer and I hope you have a lovely and safe flight on this modern Boeing 777 airplane.
Alright, so engines coming on. We could start the taxi here.
Hey, Tower, Air Canada 519, holding short 23.
Hey, Canada 519, roger, hold short runway 23.
Roger.
Tower Delta 375 Heavy, holding Canada.
Hey, Canada 519, contact North Tower 118.7.
Over to Tower 118.7.
That left engine, though.
Air Canada 519.
Delta 375, monitor North Tower.
Really struggling to come on. Not good. Make that turn off alpha. Hopefully get this resolved by the time we hit the hold short. A lot of aircraft will taxi out with one
November 2
engine.
Mike Golf, back, runway 24 left, advise and ready.
But I hope I'll be able to get those restarted in time.
Backtrack on 24 left for 2 Mike
It's a
Golf.
newbie mistake.
Correct, 2 Mike Golf, backtrack runway 24 left into position.
Taxiing, back taxiing 24 left into position for 2 Mike Golf.
Tower Canada 976 vacated 24 left. We're gonna disconnect right off the ramp.
Okay, 2976, roger.
Pretty low oil pressure. Spool them up here. Okay, there we go. There we got some power in the left engine now. Okay, let's make sure we don't taxi too far here. Still reporting some issues with that right engine. Okay, now there we go. She's all fired up. Okay, let's slow down the aircraft. And this is hotel. Bit of a stutter there. And the whole short line is just over there. Fun fact about Pearson, you don't want to hang a right coming up here because that's actually another taxiway called Quebec. And you could only ask for, need to get cleared, or you need to ask them for permission to be able to take off full length from Quebec.
2, 3.
So we should be fine based on our calculations for a takeoff from right here.
November 2 Mike Golf, roger. Waiting position for now 20 for radar release.
Copy that, holding position 2 Mike Golf.
Engines are looking good. We will advise ATC. I mean, we'll wait for them to see. Wait for them to tell us what's going on. Can I change the So we're just waiting here while he gives us, well, I guess he waits for some separation. And then we'll be taking off. Pearson Tower, Canada 11 Heavy, holding short.
Okay, Canada 11, line up runway 23.
Line up runway 23, Air Canada 11.
357 on final, 24 left. Delta 357, target evening, your number 1, continue approach, departing 1 ahead.
Approaching 2, 3. On runway 2, 3.
Okay. So we can have a look here, make sure everything is just right. Oops.
Delta 357, expect a late landing, clearance, continue approach.
Alright, anti-ice on. Passenger seatbelts
Number
on.
2, Mike, no drill down the roll when airborne
All of
contact
our
departures
hydraulics
132.8, wind 270 at 10, gusting 15, clear for takeoff, runway 24 left.
Cleared for takeoff, 2 Mike off, 24 left.
Alright. Now we wait. Xplane12 does look kind of phenomenal at night. I'm really liking it. The graphics on highest settings, 4K.
Air Canada 11 Heavy, when airborne contact departures 132.8, wind 270 at 10, gusting 15, clear for takeoff, runway 23.
Roger that. What's the? Can you give me the frequency? Sorry, it was 135.3.
Delta 0357, wind 270 at 10, gusting 15, clear to land, runway 24 left. Clear to land 24 left, Delta 0357. Air Canada 11 was departures on 132.8, clear for takeoff, runway 23.
132.8, clear for takeoff, runway 23. So let's get that ready so we can just flip over to that frequency. 132.8. Perfect. So I got that ready in the standby. Let's spool up the engines.
Tower, Canada 65, mic check.
Release the parking belts. And we're rolling down.
Canada 65, over
Good roll here.
Canada 225, runway 23, altimeter 208.18 is X-ray is current. Temperature description, taxi via Alpha Hotel. Information X-ray, 1 Alpha Hotel.
Takeoff go around is activated. Kind of weird to have a runway, intersecting runways. Terrifying. Okay, so now we're quick enough to control with the rudders. Hold the note down a bit.
Good evening, you're number 2, traffic
V1,
just exiting the runway, wind 270 at 10, gusting 15, clear to land, runway 24 left.
Gentle.
Remaining.
Confirm we have a positive rate. You're up.
Delta Sierra
Let's
357
switch over.
clear.
Air Canada 11 Heavy to Toronto departure. We're with you 1,200 feet, runway 23 on the vector.
Canada 11 Heavy, Toronto departure. Lovely identified, climb 7,000.
Just line up here with the vector. There we go.
Air Canada 11 Heavy, climb 7,000.
7,000 for Canada 11 Heavy. So engage the autopilot. Get us a climb. Whoops. climb 7,000. Very good.
Air Canada 11 Heavy, turn right direct Ursel on course, climb level 230. I'm closing up and Toronto Center's on flag. Switch to Unicom 122.8. Enjoy the flight to Sault Ste. Marie.
Thank you very much. We'll enjoy the flight on Unicom. Climb 230, direct Ursel. Alright, so...
Central aircraft, Toronto arrivals is now closed. Anyone on this frequency, Unicom 122.8. Good day.
Ursel. So let's just begin our turn. And then we'll turn the all nav on when we get a bit closer. So at this speed we can bring up notch of flaps. Bring up another notch of flaps. There she goes. Just like that. So take down, turn off the lights. Remove that last notch of flap that we no longer need. And we are tracking Ursel. And we are cleared to 23,000. Just keep that climb going. $23,000. Direct Ursel. Replace the vector with that. Fantastic. And then flip over to LNAV mode. As we rise up into the clouds here in Toronto, it's overcast. So that was a pretty short Vatsim event. Ended before it started, basically. So we're looking pretty good here. Have a look at our systems. Make sure we don't have any anomalies, fuel leaks, nothing. Hydraulics, everything appears to be working just fine. The doors, everything is armed. Air. Everything looks like it's functioning properly. Some people like to run the nav on that screen. I like to keep the engines nav here. Usually run the approach on the first officer side. So how are we looking here on the profile? Tracking Ursel. Go to that progress page. Just fine. That armrest down, that shoulder heat, foot heat. Alright. Get this light here. Beauty. So we're on our way to what I learned today is pronounced Sault Ste. Marie. Little town here in Ontario. So we're flying this instrument departure. Pretty straightforward. From Ursel, we will then fly out to Kazed or Kased, Reefy, Hitim, and then on these small airports usually we'll just vector you out for a visual. They did have an RNAV. We'll see. We get closer. So let's head over to Unicom since there is indeed no more coverage. 122.8. There we go. It's up. Whoops. Alright. So we are indeed cleared, or in this case clearing ourselves since ATC has gone offline, to our altitude of, flight plan was at 340. So let's set that up. Let's climb. Flight level change 340. And we're going to increase our climbing speed to 280 knots. Oops, forgot to start the clock. Very good. So, track Cassid, our top of descent. We're currently tracking heading 0. Switch over to standard barometer settings. Set that up on the co-pilot side. So at 280 knots, very nice climbing profile on the 777-200. We're going to go right up to 34, and then we'll speed up here to around 325 knots. Let's just get there. We're currently 344 across the ground. And got a slight heading in there. West side. Have a look up here. Our aircraft is performing very well. We will turn off the EPU. We are good. Everything else looks like it's just right. Have a look at the pedestal. Everything looks just right here. Perfect. Radios are quiet today. So yeah, trying to get into streaming more. Just kind of decided to get into it and just started. Been streaming about a flight every night. I'm gonna run some daytime flights over the weekend. Pretty nice, getting decent performance out of my machine using OBS. Doesn't seem to affect Xplane or Vatsim too much here. Was streaming on Kick as well, but I actually stopped. It took me days to figure out what was going on when I was running the streams at the same time. Streaming YouTube in 4K, found out that Kick only accepts the maximum resolution of 1080. So it was creating issues when I would connect to both streams with Vatsim mainly. When air traffic controller would talk to me or when I would talk to them, no one could hear each other. It would literally just be like very choppy, some crackling sounds. To the point where a few videos ago, flying from Los Angeles to Las Vegas, controller really actually told me, like, we need to continue by text if you want to stay connected because it's just not working. So I was like, whoa, what the heck is going on? Okay. I just proceeded and like landed at with clearance received by text. But then I was scratching my head on the following days. I'm like, how is this possible? Like, I have the system to make this run. Everything's going well in the beginning, and then I was searching the threads, the forums, Reddit, the internet, left, right, and center. Could never really find the issue. And then I decided to do a test where I would stream only on YouTube and not on Tip. And everything was fine. The problem went away. So I was like, what the heck is going on? And then after further investigation, there was something about the bit rate of the audio being different. And I'm wondering if it's because of the 4K resolution on YouTube versus the maximum 1080 on their website. So I wouldn't want to reduce the resolution of my stream, so it was kind of like a no-brainer for me. Unfortunately, I decided to just stop the stream over there. I'm just starting out anyway, so I'm just testing the waters to see what the better platform is. I'm deciding to stick with YouTube right now, just push it out and get some hours of content going on. I'm doing these flights anyways, so might as well just get them out there. So it's enough of that little rant. Aircraft's performing very well. Weather's very nice. Going up to our cruise speed. Cruise altitude, should I say. Everything is looking just fine over here. I have a view set up for the first officer. So everything looks like it's going well there. This is our current situation. Tracking KSED. Fun fact, largest engines ever fitted onto a commercial airliner. The Boeing 777. She flies so well. I really do enjoy this flight factor aircraft. It's getting better pretty much every day. VNAV is still a bit finicky, but that doesn't bother you, which for me, it really doesn't. Everything else is such a pleasure to fly that you forget it that it's even in a beta right now. So, climbing out a trickle here. Right here. But, yeah. Nice night for flying. Fully functional radio, by the way, over here for the jump seat guy. I'm sure I just have a lot of stuff modeled here. Oh, I get this. Wow. Good stuff. Let's see. So, how do I get the screen to display in the back? Is it this? I don't know what the heck that is. It's gotta be onboard display. Onboard display. I'm not sure. This is the part where you ask your viewers, hey, does anyone know where the button is to turn on the screen, but when you don't have any viewers? Not much. Well, it's not a huge deal. Figure it out. Getting a message from YouTube saying stream is poor, everything that's going on. It's just showing excellent. So let's see how we're going on the progress here. Very long waypoints. God bless Vatsim. Navigraph. Really makes all this happen. Plane is really crawling, so what we're gonna do is just disconnect the auto throttles. Just gonna wall the engine so we can get up into our cruising altitude. So as we get closer, start our descent, we'll be bringing our APUs back online. It's always good to have, especially when you're low and you're slow. When you have engine problems, you'll need that. Okie dokie. So everything's good here. No weather trim or anything like that. Aircraft's performing quite well, so ever since we've increased the throttles, you can see right away that our climb rate is doing much better. Still maintaining that speed at 0.75. I think it's a great envelope to fly, a great profile to fly in this aircraft. Alright, so we will shortly be at our cruise. It's clear enough to see some stars today. Look at that, that's like dirt on the windshield. Amazing. Not dirt, but the amount of detail is just staggering. Alright, pretty uneventful flight. Not a lot of traffic out there. Radios are awfully quiet. We may have to manage so far we will be managing our descent by ourselves. As there's no longer a controller online. Our destination, which is, I'm going to say this right again, Sault Ste. Marie. Sault Ste. Marie. I mean, being a Canadian myself, I haven't really heard of this place before. Unfortunately, sorry for whoever is from there. You learn something every day. So from CAFTA, we'll be tracking briefly. And we'll be starting our descent somewhere in between very long waypoints, 100 nautical miles. I mean, very long. It's not an oceanic flight, but we're going up there into the small town. I don't think they get a lot of 777s out there. So everything seems to be functioning properly. Engines are good. The temps are looking fine. Nothing's wrong. Let's monitor. Okay, looking good on the fuel. No indication of issues or a leak. Feels good, very comfortable, 21 degrees. Hydraulics. Everything seems to be working just fine. So now we've hit cruise. Let's speed up the aircraft here, which it already is. We'll engage the auto throttles again, so we don't have to constantly keep the aircraft while we cruise. Whoops, no smoking is still on. Seatbelts is what I'm trying to turn off. And we'll make a PA.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are currently cruising at our assigned altitude. The weather outside is acceptable and we should make our destination at just about the scheduled time. I hope you are enjoying your flight on this awesome Flight Factor aircraft.
So, when the aircraft arrives at 310 knots, should be pulling back on the throttles. Don't have the tail wind, so we don't really need to worry too much about going over the edge there and overseeing the aircraft. So the aircraft will be performing a slight right turn. We'll be tracking heading 325 to refuel. And there we go. Let's just step out of the cockpit for a second. These lights, that's really just a pedestal. Imagine that. Amazing. Some aircraft they don't really do this. Wow, this guy's really leaning way back now. Some aircraft you'll like turn on the lights brighter inside the cockpit and you go outside to this view and you still won't really see anything. So it's nice to see that they've actually modeled out those lights and they're giving a bit of going. Just that amount of light, you don't really not much to see. I like it a bit dark in here. I'm not sure if they can actually fly this dark, but I mean at night, I don't think you really want a lot of light coming from inside the cockpit like that. So we'll come to that. So we got this little workbench here. Oh, I didn't even know there was a box there. I haven't seen that. I haven't seen that. I've seen this though. A little nifty tool. Here you can open the window. You click on this, but it won't. It obviously won't open while you're in flight because of the cabin pressure. When you're on the ground, you can open this window. I've tried. So, we look in 34. Aircraft is pretty much doing its job. All the throttles having no issues. Maintaining our cruise speed. We'll be reaching our top of descent fairly shortly. About halfway through our flight here. Flying towards Sault Ste. Marie. When we get to Sault Ste. Marie, we'll climb runway 30. We'll set up for the RNAV and we'll probably just fly the visual. So what's that gonna look like? Debrief the arrival. So when we get to HITAM, that's it for the waypoint. So typically ATC probably vector traffic around and then eventually clear them in like that. So what we'll do is we'll just clear ourselves direct, and then we'll come in for a short final here, right onto runway 30, and then it's a quite short runway. We'll be taxiing there. Foxtrot. That is indeed a very short runway. I'll have a look at the landing calculations in my tablet here that I'm running outside of the sim. So actual landing distance 4,337 feet, factored landing distance 5,787 feet, factored distance margin 213 feet. So we're obviously going to be using maximum. They're asking for maximum manual braking on flaps 30 with reverse thrust on. Interesting. With brakes on max auto, it's going to be good. Max auto, max manual, flaps 30 reversers on. Based on the conditions right now, the runway is wet, so we're gonna have to make sure we don't have a runway excursion. The elevation of the airport is the runway is 629. Okie dokie. So we'll give it a try. Worst case scenario, we overshoot the runway in the sim. That's meant to be done. Well, not meant to be done, but you guys get the idea. We are absolutely flying here, 499 knots across the ground. Everything looks pretty stable here. So let's have a look at the progress page. Okay. About 15 miles off. At Reiki, they're asking for 10,000 feet. We passed our descent, so look at that. What's going on? Had like some turbulence there. That's fine. Wow. Altitude alert. Well, we're gonna start our descent anyways. So let's come out of our cruise here. The next number in the box, which is start the descent. We'll also reduce the speed a bit. There we go. Aircraft should slow down about 0.85 Mach and then start pitching the nose down. 15 Mach 1 miles. We should be absolutely fine to hit this profile. And getting a bit of turbulence out there as we just experienced. But everything seems to have stabilized itself. Alright, so there's always these sounds. It's strange. Okay, the work table light can go. Bring the seatbelt signs back. A little bit late on the PA here, but we'll let them know that oh, okay. There's no PA for coming out of cruise. Okay. I've been flying this aircraft for, I don't know, a couple months now. Very good aircraft by flight factor. It's the Boeing 777-200ER. I think V2. On V2. Never tried V1, but I'm really enjoying this aircraft right now. Alright, so let's keep her going. So far we haven't activated any speed brakes. We may have to bring some in. Depending on how she descends here. So we'll put 10,000 into the box. Feet, 6 knots, 10,000. Okay. So if I increase the speed of the aircraft, push the nose down a bit more. This aircraft bleeds off speed pretty fast, so I don't really mind coming in hot. Get the speed under control fairly quickly. Alright. Here she goes. Alright, so let's keep an eye on the speed here, especially on the descent. Don't want this getting out of control. When we free, we're at hit 10, and then we'll just we'll clear ourselves over to the RNAV, and then we'll fly the visual. So the nav is technically not 100% functional in this beta. Fairly short flight out here to Sault St. Marie. I don't know if I'll ever get that right. Sault St. Marie, I think that's it. So everything there just looks fine and dandy. Just sort of get out the cockpit. You do have to put this button out. Doors wings open. Doors wings closed. Great job. Yes, the tour. Should save some views back here. I'll do that. Save some views. Okay, so what's number 3 does that? Okay, absolutely nothing. Okay, 3 is there. We used 0 for like a wing view. We got this. So from here, so get that wing view. Very cozy. Losing frames back here. So that disconnect me from Vatsim, but I'll just reconnect. Massive engines. So if the engine is over here, the wing. Is this a good view? Massive. So let's go with, let's try this view. Combine that to 0. Let's try a few sections back. This aircraft is so massive that it's hard to tell which one would be the best. We'll start with that, so we can get, at least so we can get back there quickly. Alright, so let's figure this out. Let's fly the plane. Are we outside? We'll figure those views out another time. So, we'll take off, we'll go back to local pressure. Over here in Sault St. Marie, the altimeter setting is, there's no ATIS, but I have it up on an app, 2974. Excellent. Bring that up to the Air Force officer's side. Perfect. Reconnect to Vatsim here now that we're not burning up the video card. Nice little city here. So let's have a look as we're about to hit a runaway discontinuity. So we're gonna have to obviously descend a little bit faster here. We're coming in hot, but let's try to make it without adding any track miles. So let's just clear ourselves directly to Auckland and say ATC does that for us. And we want to bring the altitude down. It is descending very fast. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring this up. Aircraft is going to overspeed just a tad here. Coming in a bit hot there. We'll reduce our speed to 260 knots for now, which is extremely hot. Well, let's keep the speed brakes on, let's just say, for a bit. And let's go down to around 3,000 feet as fast as we can. Okie dokie. So we're looking not too bad here. In 5 miles, the box says 5,300 feet. So let's see if we can hit that. We've got the auto brakes pretty much fully on. We're gonna configure the aircraft for landing here. Max auto. Bring the lights on when we get a bit closer. Definitely restart the APU at this point. Everything else looks alright. We lost the purser to get the cabin ready.
Something?
Just let her know that we are landing soon.
Prepare for landing.
Definitely.
Alright, here. So 2 miles, 53. Pretty much right on the profile here. We'll slow down the aircraft to 240 knots. Alright, so we are pretty much ready to bring the speed brakes off. I believe that might be the important site right over there, so let's bring this up here. See exactly what we're going to be flying. Okie dokie, so Ottman, we're asking for 210, 3,000 feet. So let's we'll slow down the aircraft to 210 knots. Bring out the brakes. And bring out a notch of flaps. Perfect. Okay. Speed brake extended. So I was looking at my map. Let's bring that back. Let's go down to flap 5. Put a wind here. Okay, let's just hold 3,000 for now. And then we'll be turning onto short final. 10 knots until Romru, 19 above, and then bring her down to the runway 660 feet elevation. You need to try not to overshoot the threshold because it's a short runway. We'll be running max auto, max manual, and reverse thrusters. And we'll see if we can get the landing done and stop in time. So there was no arrival, so we're just going to be flying right in to the RNAV fix. Ogden 210. Looking just fine here. Little ring. Starting out. Whoops. I just did something. We'll go to flaps. I think flaps 5 is appropriate for right now. Nick the handle. All right. That turn onto Ottman. So far, so good. And then we'll be flying heading at 295. From Romru. So keep our speed up. We could come down to 2,000 feet. Okay, so let's zoom in the screen a bit. Aircraft is beginning to make a turn. We're just 6 miles off Romru. So by the time we get to Romru, we'll hopefully be flying a visual. Hopefully we'll have the runway in sight. There's not a lot of lights in this town. Aircraft looks like it's getting pretty close to the ground. So Romru, we want 170. Let's pull the engines back. Lining up on final. Don't quite have visibility on the runway just yet, but we'll be coming out of the clouds. Romru, they want 1900 or above. Let's bring out flap 15. Whoops. 170 knots. Please. We're still in the clouds. Would like to fly the visual, so hopefully we come out of the soup shortly. Okay, and I think that's pretty much happening. Very good. So it's called the landing gear. It's a very, very windy day. Let's see how we're gonna manage this. Let's bring out landing configuration for the flaps.
1,000.
We're at Romru. 1,000, quite low. They recommend. Yeah, okay. Makes sense. Alright. Alright, so we're gonna arm the speed brakes. We're gonna fly manually. We're gonna take off the auto throttle.
Don't sink. Don't sink.
I do not have the runway in sight. Where the heck is it? Is there even an airport here?
Don't sink.
Okay, finally I do
Don't
have it in
sink.
sight.
Don't
This
sink.
would probably be a go-round
Don't
in real
sink.
life.
Don't sink. Don't sink.
Okay.
Don't sink.
How is the aircraft coming in so hot?
Don't sink.
Okay, it's been on... I turned the auto throttles off. I had it on idle and it was still being gunned. I should have known when I heard it, but... I think we'll definitely be fine.
1,000.
Let me try to fly this approach. We appear to be right on the localizer.
Sink rate. Sink rate. Sink rate.
Okay.
Sink rate. Sink rate. Sink rate.
This is going to
Sink
be
rate.
messy.
Sink rate. Sink rate. Sink rate. Sink rate. Sink
Can we
rate.
get her down?
Sink rate. Sink rate. Sink rate.
50.
Sink rate.
20. 10.
Disaster.
3,000 feet remaining. 3,000 feet remaining.
And that is a perfect
2,000
example of
feet
not a
remaining.
great landing. But hey, we get better every time. No issues making it. Let's taxi off to the left. I'll give it some brakes here. Sault Ste. Marie. Oh, wow. Alright, so there's a flight from Toronto Pearson to Sault Ste. Marie. Some nice conifers here to our left. And we'll just taxi out to the gate.
Caution, taxiway. Caution,
And
taxiway.
we're speeding on the taxiway.
Caution, taxiway. Caution, taxiway. Caution,
Didn't have a look at the
taxiway.
landing rate,
Caution,
but I'm
taxiway.
guessing it wasn't ideal.
Caution, taxiway. Caution,
Okay,
taxiway.
imagine we're cleared to the runway.
Caution, taxiway.
Oh.
Caution, taxiway.
Not sure where to park a 777 Sault Ste. Marie. But we'll just pull up to the tower, like so. And engage the brake. Thank you for flying, and maybe back on shortly with another flight queued up.